Now at 10, Joplin area residents didn't let the cloudy weather stop them from celebrating the solar eclipse. Plus, students in Commerce, Oklahoma take part in a mock crash scene investigation with the help of local law enforcement officials. After buying her studio as a teenager, a Southeast Kansas dance instructor nears a decade in business.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Much of America's heartland stood still this afternoon as a total solar eclipse passed through parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri and other states. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The Creative Learning Alliance in Joplin hosted a Solarbration, an eclipse watch party where the community could come together to experience the event. It drew hundreds of eclipse watchers to downtown Joplin. While the sky noticeably darkened during the eclipse, clouds filtered some views, but people at the event say that didn't stop them from having a good experience.
I think it's because it's a once-in-a-lifetime event that we're able to come and enjoy. You can enjoy with your family and friends, and so it does make it just a time to create memories.
People at the Solarbration were able to receive their own pair of eclipse glasses to safely view the event. The eclipse reached totality in Mountain View, Missouri, and other places in the southern and eastern parts of the Show Me State. KOAM's Shannon Becker streamed live from Mountain View, where spectators pulled off the road to watch the solar eclipse. The eclipse also reached totality in parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas, including Lake Dardanelle State Park in Russellville, Arkansas. That's where Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy enjoyed the view. Reporter Chris Bryant was at the Buffalo National River near Marshall, Arkansas, one of the first places in the Ozarks to witness the total eclipse.
Bonnie Tyler is saying this is a different kind of eclipse, and the people gathered here today at the Buffalo National River would agree. There's really nothing you could do but sit back and enjoy the show.
It's amazing. I can't stress that enough, how awesome an event like this is in some of the most beautiful places in America, like Buffalo National River.
People came from as far away as North Carolina and Orange County, California, and as close as a county or two away.
We're here to see the eclipse. It's one of the closest places for the path of totality from Fayetteville, so we drove all the way out here to see it.
As the eclipse starts, the paper glasses were not enough.
If you feel really comfortable with holding the camera steady, you could put it right up to the eyepiece maybe. And
taking the time to spend with family was the main reason those gathered at the Buffalo National River.
Pretty sweet. I saw the one in 17, and now I've got 2 5-year-olds and a 2-year-old, and I really hope the 5-year-olds remember it. But I'm a little afraid the 2-year-old's not going to. I'd really like her to, but it's pretty cool.
Then, as the sky darkened, the anticipation turned to elation.
Everything you thought it'd be?
Yes, and more. Like that is so incredible.
We got some great views through the telescope, although I'm going to put the filter back on because I think it's about to end.
Just looking around, it has gotten dark. You see everybody out here kind of taking it in, taking a look at it, enjoying the entire situation. It's one of those things where, you know, you can look up at it now and see it with your bare eyes. You can start to see those planets up there around the solar eclipse.
It's like on the east and the west of us, because it's brighter over there and brighter over there, and not in the middle.
As the sun starts to reappear like a Broadway curtain call, the reason for the experience doesn't matter. It was about sharing it with the ones you love.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I mean, we're outdoor people anyway, so to get out and do something like this and get to see them, it's awesome.
The historic path of totality crossed into the U.S. in Texas at 2:27 p.m. Eastern Time, traveled over parts of 15 states through Maine before heading into Canada at 3:35 p.m. Eastern. Crowds gathered at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to enjoy the spectacle in the sky for 3 or 4 minutes of peace and awe. It's the last total solar eclipse in the continental U.S. until the year 2044. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures across the region are now dipping into the 50s. We have Welch 57, Pittsburgh 53, so we're getting a little chillier tonight with our low being around 53 for the Joplin region and maybe a little bit lower for the surrounding counties. Now we do have some thunderstorm chances tonight, mostly just showers in our area. The main threat for thunderstorms is going south of us in Arkansas, but we do have a bit of the top of that storm moving through our area, so we may have a thunderstorm chance embedded in those showers that we're going to see tonight. Now after that, we've got some more rain chances popping back up Tuesday night and again on Wednesday. But I'll have more details for you about what you can expect for the remainder of the storms coming through in the next couple of days in just a bit.
See you soon. A deputy is injured in a head-on fatal collision near Elk City, Kansas. Happened early yesterday morning as a Montgomery County deputy was responding to a non-injury vehicle accident on Highway 160 out of Independence, Kansas. While en route, another vehicle veered into oncoming traffic, causing a head-on collision that left the deputy seriously injured. The driver of the oncoming vehicle died on the scene. The injured deputy and 3 other people were taken to the hospital. Students at Commerce Oklahoma High School had the opportunity to visit with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, Commerce Fire Department, Quapaw Nation Marshals Service, and other local agencies to learn about distracted driving or driving under the influence. Students participated in a mock crash at the school's football stadium with some of the students playing the roles of crash victims. Historic Route 66 runs right through Galena, Kansas, and now a new sign marks that distinction. The sign's going to go in front of Luigi's Pit Stop on East Front Street. The shop is themed around the movie Cars. When the sign is fully painted, drivers are going to be able to park underneath it and take photos. Southeast Kansas dance instructor is approaching 10 years of business after taking her first steps into entrepreneurship as a teenager. Miss Chelsea's Dance Academy in Iola is a childhood dream fulfilled for Chelsea Lee. She began as a student in that very same studio before helping her instructor with the younger students. Before she even graduated from high school, she had the opportunity to buy the studio, a chance she just couldn't pass up.
Just turned 17. It was probably, I think it was like a week after my birthday, was when he had approached me. My old boss had approached me and said, I'm going to go to med school. I'm going to be a doctor, so I'm closing. But before I put my building up on the market, I wanted to know if you wanted to buy the business. And I was like, yeah. I didn't have to think about it at all.
The Dance Academy's next performance is going to be May 31st and June 1st at the Bolus Fine Arts Center in Iola. Coming up, President Biden unveils details of a new student loan forgiveness plan. Plus, Donald Trump weighs in on the issue of abortion rights. Millions of Americans could soon save thousands of dollars in student loan payments if President Biden has his way. But this is not the first time President Biden has tried to help out the borrowers. Nicole Skanga has more details from the White House.
Hello, Wisconsin. President Biden visited the college town of Madison, Wisconsin to roll out a new plan for canceling thousands of dollars of student debt for millions of Americans.
The ability for working and middle-class folks to repay their student loans has become so burdensome that a lot can't repay it for even decades after being in school.
This plan focuses on high interest rates, providing relief for borrowers who now owe more than their original loan was worth. The loan forgiveness would apply to people who have been paying undergrad loans for 20 years or more, or grad student loans over the last 25 years. It also applies to those already eligible for loan forgiveness, and for borrowers who can prove financial hardships prevent them from repaying their loans.
I will never stop to deliver student debt relief on hardworking Americans, and it's only in the interest of America that we do it. And again, it's for the good of our economy.
It's no coincidence the plan was unveiled in Wisconsin, one of the big swing states this election cycle. Student debt relief is a popular proposal among progressive voters. But some legal challenges are expected. The Supreme Court struck down a previous attempt by the Biden administration to forgive hundreds of millions in student loans.
The Supreme Court was very clear in saying that Biden's loan forgiveness policy was an overreach of his executive power and overreach of his authority.
This smaller, more targeted plan will still require a months-long public comment period before it can take effect, narrowing the chances it will be implemented before Election Day. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden administration is moving full steam ahead over the new policy, with Vice President Kamala Harris holding an event in Philadelphia this afternoon and the Education Secretary Miguel Cardona holding an event in New York. The Biden campaign raised more than $90 million in March as the president continues to lead donations over his opponent. The Democratic National Committee and Biden's re-election campaign said over the weekend that they ended the first quarter of the year with more than $192 million in cash on hand. Former President Donald Trump announced today he believes abortion rights should be left to the states. The announcement was made in a video posted to social media. Former president did not indicate the number of weeks during a pregnancy at which he thinks it would be appropriate to ban abortion, but he did reiterate his support for certain exceptions, such as victims of rape and incest or when a mother's life is in danger. A New York appeals judge rejects a request by Trump to delay his hush money trial. The trial is set to begin next week. A source says the filing relates to the gag order that has been imposed on Trump, as well as the venue for the trial. The case is related to alleged reimbursement payments Trump is accused of making to his former attorney, Michael Cohen. A little bit later, we're going to learn about one man's year-long journey to walk the entire length of Africa.
And right after the break, we'll talk more about what you can expect tonight and the next couple of nights for rain. Well, we're kicking off the week with some rain chances tonight, stretching all the way through Wednesday night. Taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino Resort camera. Not many clouds in the area right now, although we are expecting those clouds to start to push in right before midnight. We've got some rain chances still in Texas, be making its way through our area tonight from 2 to 3 a.m. is when they're going to start to push in. Now, we do have rain chances for the next several days, but all 3 days that we're getting rain, nothing too severe. Everything's going south of us, so we're just getting the top of the rain. And like I said, we may see some small hail as the worst threat for any of the storms that we're getting. However, majority of us are just going to see some rain showers. This is starting Tuesday, 3:30 in the morning. We'll have some pretty light rain to start off with, and then we can start to see a line form going straight through Joplin, and that's going to increase. May see some thunderstorms with that, but like I said, nothing too severe. You may just hear some rumbles of thunder. That'll continue to push southeast, and then we'll have it pop back up just north of Bella Vista. That's about all we're getting tonight, and then that'll clear out pretty early in the morning tomorrow. We'll have some clouds in the region. However, temperatures get up to about 70 degrees. Other than that, not seeing much until Tuesday late in the evening, around 7:30. We may see some showers start to push in to our southern counties. Continuing on, becomes more of a widespread rain shower across the region. This is about 1 a.m. So you'll most likely be asleep, and then we'll start to see those thunderstorm chances kick up. We have a pretty strong one right now in our western counties. We'll see that come in around 3:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Now continuing on, that one thunderstorm will start to push through Parsons and Nevada, but it'll dissipate by the time it gets out to the east. Rain chances continue on all day on Wednesday. This is 9:30 in the morning. Some widespread showers, maybe some thunderstorm chances along with that. Like I said, the worst threat with this would be small hail and maybe some localized flooding in some of those areas with lower level ground and near any water. Continuing on, the rain chances and thunderstorm chances start to shift off to the east. It's about 4:30 to 6, and then they'll continue on and start to lighten up as we get into the later afternoon hours on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be pretty windy and dry. Relative humidity levels are forecasted to be less than 35%. So we may see fire weather concerns spark back up on Thursday. We have more chances of that as we move into the weekend, and these temperatures getting up to the 80s. So we'll see temperatures start hitting 80 around Saturday, 81, Sunday 82, Monday 83. Then we'll see thunderstorm chances come back around Tuesday morning. Those will be scattered thunderstorms across the region during all day on Tuesday, and then again on Thursday.
We're looking pretty nice for the weekend, windy, but it's going to be warm.
Back up to the 80s. That's a nice long stretch of 80-degree temperatures.
Looks that way.
Yep.
Thanks, Lindsay. A British man is taking the concept of running charity to a whole new level, completing a year-long quest to run the entire length of Africa. He hit 16 countries in 352 days, and as Ian Lee reports, he faced more than just tired legs along the way.
Ready to run a marathon? Yeah. True grit and perseverance fueled Russ Cook over the finish line. The 27-year-old from England ran across Africa from south to north. A 10,000-mile journey taking him through jungles and deserts. He even faced an armed robbery and a kidnapping along the way.
The scariest moment was in the Congo when I was on the back of a motorbike thinking I was about to die.
Cook documented his dangerous and draining trip on Instagram, earning the nickname the hardest geezer.
Mate, I'm getting hit with another sandstorm this morning, sucking oxygen, chewing sand for breakfast. They're trying to get me gone, but they just can't.
Inspiring and inviting folks from around the world to join him, like American Blake Warren.
I was laying on my couch. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I saw it, and he said everybody can come. I literally got on Skyscanner, I looked for a ticket, and 20 minutes later I bought the ticket, and here I am.
Cook raised nearly $1 million for homeless young people and clean water for Africa, as well as a possible place in the record books.
Got to get it done, and the only way out is the end.
Cook ended his run taking a dip in the Mediterranean.
I'm a bit tired.
And downing a strawberry daiquiri to mark his sweet success.
Thank you, sir.
Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Wow, well done. If you tally up all the miles Cook completed, it would be the equivalent of running about 385 marathons. Still ahead, Purdue and UConn meet in the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, and Frontenac High School Baseball tries to end Riverton's perfect season. John Dales has those highlights and a lot more coming up next.
We are 3 weeks into the 2024 high school baseball season in Southeast Kansas, and Riverton has yet to lose a game. The Rams bring a 10-0 record into a CNC doubleheader this afternoon as they play host to Frontenac. Riverton baseball enters the day 10-0 at home, taking on Frontenac. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Top of the first inning is where we pick it up. Jack Capehart hammers this pitch over the left fielder's head. That's two runs are going to come in to score. It's a 2 RBI double. Frontenac with the early lead. Same inning, Brock Wiemers hits one on the ground sharply towards first. He hustles in for an RBI single, and it's 3-0 Raiders. Abram Frankenberry on the mound for Frontenac. He gets a couple of strikeouts in the first, then another in the second. Raiders back at the plate in the second inning. Cal Turlip laces one to second. That's going to bring in another run. Raiders take game 1 of the doubleheader. Final score 7-2. The Raiders also win game 2. That one just going final around 9 o'clock tonight. This game much closer as well. Riverton had the tying run on third base and the winning run on first when the final out was made in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Raiders next play Girard in another doubleheader. That's a week from today. Over to college baseball, Missouri Southern's Garrett Rice is named the MIAA Hitter of the Week. That's the first time in his career. The Lions senior was 7 for 13 against Central Oklahoma over the weekend, hitting a home run and 2 doubles and helping Southern to a series victory over the 19th ranked Broncos. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh State infielder Caden Trochim is named the MIAA Softball Hitter of the Week. She was a big part of PSU's doubleheader sweep over Missouri Southern on Saturday. She went 4 for 5 at the plate with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in over 2 games. She helped Pittsburgh State win its 6th in a row and keep its home record perfect. The Gorillas are 20-0 on their home field so far. The 2023-24 college basketball season comes to a close tonight. Purdue and UConn meet in the championship of the NCAA men's tournament. Now, for the entire tournament, the Boilermakers and Huskies seem destined to meet up in the championship game. National championship just wrapping up as we come on the air. UConn is putting the finishing touches on a 2nd consecutive national championship. Huskies lead Purdue 67-54 with less than 3 minutes left to play in the second half. The Huskies led by just 6 at halftime, but opened things up in the second half. And UConn, if it hangs on, is the first repeat champion since Florida in 2006 and 2007. And UConn, dating back to last season, depending on how this final score holds, if they win by double digits, they will have won every tournament game by double digits 2 years in a row.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Not just winning, but winning in dominant fashion. And you said it would be the Huskies. It looks like you were right. We'll be right back. Hundreds of couples today gave new meaning to the phrase total eclipse of the heart. 358 couples got married in Russellville, Arkansas during the solar eclipse. The event, Elope at the Eclipse, was described by some as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, really, ideally, all marriages are supposed to be kind of once in a lifetime. I know it doesn't always work out that way. The mass wedding ended just before the skies above became briefly blackened. So you have these two orbs that unite into one and then form a ring in the sky. You can see the metaphor, but get into the fact that they then separate after that. But it's a nice thought anyway.
It definitely is.
Rain chances ahead.
Yeah, we've got some showers pushing through tonight, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Those chances continue again tomorrow night and all day on Wednesday. Fire weather returning on Thursday.
Final sports notes.
We have a final score in that national championship game. UConn beats Purdue 75-60. The Huskies do indeed go back-to-back.
Wow, another blowout for the Huskies. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great